And showtime, ladies and gentlemen, because we're not learning to bake bread and neither are you. Welcome to another episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. We'll look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I'm executive editor of the ChannelPro Network. I'm also one of the hosts of this program. I am joined this week and every week by my co-host, Eric Simpson, who is a business transformation and improvement consultant for MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, may the 4th be with you.
Yes, may the 4th be with you, and also with you, and also with everyone else here. Sorry about that noise. I dropped my blaster there on the floor. Luckily, it didn't go off, but yeah, coming at you from Rebel Base. So here we are.
And, no kidding, Eric, I have not been using my stay-at-home time to acquire some great new skill like baking bread. What about you?
Yeah, me neither. Not really.
Feeling like a slacker, by the way. I learned earlier today that somebody I used to work with has used his stay-at-home time to write a novel. All I'm doing is writing a bunch of crummy articles. I don't know. I've got to apply myself more, I think.
You're beating yourself up. You're beating your stuff's awesome, Rich. Love it.
Thank you. Well, let's talk about an article, in fact, that I wrote this past week about Acronis. Now, you and I were both at Acronis's first Global Cyber Summit. That was last September or October, I believe. Big show for them where they announced a number of different products that were all part of this larger strategy on their part to become a cyber protection company. So they had been known for a long time for a number of different things, but mostly for backup products. For a number of years, they were developing security products as well. They've now rolled security and backup together into a cyber protection platform that covers all of the different layers or needs within a complete security strategy, which begins with the security software, but also includes BDR, obviously. Now, back at that show last fall, one of the products that they announced was called Acronis Cyber Protect. And that's really the endpoint and edge security component of this larger platform. There's a set of APIs that goes with it. There's a sort of underlying hyper-converged infrastructure that the Cyber Protect system runs on top of. But the core kind of endpoint multi-function, actually, security solution at the heart of the Acronis Cyber Protection platform is called Acronis Cyber Protect. They unveiled it, they described it before. They have been continuing to work on it, though, since then, and this past week they have officially launched it. What is notable and interesting about that, though, is that part of why it took until early May, basically, to get this out is because what's obviously happened since that conference is the coronavirus and an explosion of remote work, a whole array of new security challenges faced by business users out there. And so they, in a relatively short time, added some functionality to the product specifically designed to help service providers, help MSPs support customers with remote workers. And among other things, they added some default templates with secure protection plans for remote work devices. They added built-in VPN technology, which is actually huge for a lot of users right now. Secure file sync and share integration, remote data wipe functionality. I guess kudos to Acronis basically for understanding that there were some new needs out there and working very quickly to get to accommodate some of those needs in the product before they put it into general availability.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with their agility and nimbleness. I know that they've been working very diligently on getting this product out to market, and now just impressed at how quickly they were able to pivot to add additional features and functionality to serve MSPs and cybersecurity folks with these coronavirus kind of specific enhancements, right? Very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So for them to find the focus to do that, and like you said, to be nimble enough to kind of adjust their release timing and whatever else was going on behind the scenes is kind of impressive. And it's a big moment for Acronis. We talked before about this strategy on their part, and they are not the only company in the industry that sees a intersection between BDR and security. There are other companies out there that are pursuing that kind of an approach. And so I think the next 12 months probably will be pretty interesting just in terms of seeing what kind of traction some of those strategies have out in the marketplace.
Yeah,
But
we did.
let's take a look at your. Oops, sorry, Eric. Did I cut you off?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought we had a rebel transmission coming in, but no.
Okay.
I was just going to make a final point that, yeah, we have spoken about Acronis's strategy in the past. And, what's interesting, just a final note is, I do a lot of work with partners to try to get them to figure out, what vendors to engage with and what services and solutions to bundle into their cybersecurity portfolio and things like that. And to their credit, Acronis has kind of, taken some of the guesswork out. They're bundling all of the, must need, gotta have stuff into this one product. So that's also saving their partners from having to figure this all out and probably making it very attractive for folks, that are looking for
Yeah. I mean, we've been speaking in recent weeks about announcements from Zix, announcements involving NetApp and CloudJumper. So there are companies that are pursuing these cloud bundled kind of offerings where you take a cloud software application and add on security software, add on backup, add on storage, what having. Yeah, you're right. Here, BDR and security are the two most obvious things to bundle in with Windows Virtual Desktop or Office 365. And yeah, Acronis is all kind of glued it all together for you, basically, so that it's one add-on instead of two. Well, let's turn to your tip of the week here, which I think is going to be a timely one for people in our audience who are trying to manage a dispersed team right now and keep everybody on the same page and motivated.
Yes, Rich. I mean, it's an interesting time out here, and I think that we've as an industry, right, we've had to adapt and adjust very, very rapidly to support end customers and to come up with solutions ourselves to help deliver services remotely, effectively, efficiency, and to maintain, staff morale and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing right, while also helping end customers do it kind of almost in tandem. And so I was thinking this week about my tip of the week, and I just felt that, we have these ebbs and flows of, oh, we're going to get back to normal soon, or no, we're not going to get back to normal soon. And I think that kind of stop and start uncertainty has really influenced this week's tip. And it's simply this: listen, it's time to have a virtual all hands meeting with your team if you haven't done so already. If for nothing else but to, build morale, give the staff the strategic vision, even if you're still figuring it out. I mean, just reassure them that we're going to get through this, and lay out some of the achievements and accomplishments and positive things that you've been able to realize with your own company and with your end user customers. I mean, Rich, I have partners letting me know that their clients are appreciating them, without being asked, just reaching out and saying, hey, just want to let you guys know, you really are an integral part of our business, and you've come through with flying colors for us during this challenging time. I mean, those kinds of testimonials and feel-good messages ought to be part and parcel of, your virtual all hands meeting messaging. So it's time to, just focus on the positive, give the team a little bit of strategy if you have it as we move forward. But, I want everyone to think about, let's do a virtual all hands meeting. We're seeing all kinds of other virtual events. Why don't we take that to heart and do something good for our team?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of thoughts on that. So first of all, I talked to a fair number of MSPs who are doing something like a daily video stand-up, say, like they'll have a meeting once a day, maybe twice a day with their
huddle.
staff.
Yeah, huddles, yeah, love it.
Yeah, a huddle, exactly. So that it's basically, here's what we're working on today. And I think what you're talking about is something that's maybe a longer format and more about what is this company's strategy for, getting through this and prospering on the other side of this, which is, I think, an important thing to consider. And then the other thing, I did talk earlier this week with a couple of different MSPs who are doing that kind of meeting. One of them has already done it. The other one had one coming up this week. And they both built time into the agenda for purely morale building activities, like a game of some kind, or one of them was going to do something where everyone on the team was required to bring a pair of shoes, go into the closet, bring a pair of shoes and explain why this says something interesting about you or what you like to do or whatever. But just something fun, something to kind of keep people feeling connected to one another, I think is maybe a good thing to include in your virtual all hands.
I love those ideas. I mean, everybody, and you're seeing, like, recently, I forget what online magazine it is, but they're publishing kind of these, recipes of, like, organizations. Like, we did a bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse here, and we try to recreate like an In-N-Out burger. Like, these are like the recipes that are purported to be how you make these meals. I know that there was like there's a hotel chain, I forget who it is, that, when you show up, they give you those nice warm cookies. And so
DoubleTree, yeah.
Yeah, DoubleTree. So swap recipes and things like that. I think those are all really cool things. It doesn't have to be all about business, right? So it's all about, hey, let's, we're a family, we're a team. Let's do everything we can to raise that morale. So I love all that, team building stuff, and just keeping folks engaged, and letting folks know that, don't worry, we're still in this together, and we got a job to do, but hey, we're going to have a little fun doing it too.
Well, important stuff to consider. We have time for just one more story, one more item to consider, I suppose. And, we're all spending a lot of time, probably more time than usual, indoors. Some of us are maybe not getting our 10,000 steps in on a daily basis. And we're also all a little bit stressed. When you're stressed, you eat a little bit more. There is this idea that many of us will be, or have already gained, the so-called quarantine 15. Like, we're all going to be putting on weight, basically, for a number of different reasons. Interesting study came out just within the past week or so. So a company called Withings, which makes an internet-connected scale, among other products, pulled together some anonymous aggregated data from 450,000 users in the US between March 22nd and April 18th, so roughly a month. And they discovered that the average user gained 0.21 pounds in that month. This is actually kind of encouraging. Now, maybe it's not, the average owner of an internet-connected scale might be the kind of person who, if they're not learning to bake bread or writing a novel, is running marathons with their extra time or something. Who knows? But hey, good sign. People are maybe not putting on as much weight as we were concerned they would.
Well, Rich, all I'll have to say is that simply confirms, my thought of me being above average, because I think I put on more than 2.1 pounds during this pandemic. So, there you go.
So far, I think I'm over 0.21 pounds myself, but I don't think hugely so far. So thankfully, I don't have an internet scale to tell me this every day. Well, folks, that is all the time we have this week on the 5-Minute Roundup. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back again next week with another episode. If you like the show, you might want to take a look at some older episodes. You want to keep up with the new ones when they become available. Your best move is to go to the ChannelPro Network channel on YouTube and subscribe there. Make sure you click the little bell if you want to get notifications when the new episodes go up. To read more about Acronis and their Cyber Protect solution, to get all sorts of great advice for growing your business, make your destination ChannelProNetwork.com. We have got great new stuff for you every single day there. To learn about Eric and the work he does with his clients when he's not out there in his X-Wing, zooming about in outer space, go to ErickSimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. So like I said, we're going to be back again next week with another episode. Until then, folks, please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.